So targeting retirees and pre-retirees is one of the most profitable strategies that you can use as a financial advisor or insurance agent in order to generate more leads, appointments, and clients for your business. However, not all strategies are the same. Some strategies to target seniors, pre-retirees, retirees, or anyone between the ages of 50 to 80 definitely work much better than others. So after helping hundreds of different financial advisors and insurance agents generate leads by targeting people between the ages of 50 and 80, in this video, I'm going to go through what are some of the best ways to target people that are between the ages of 50 and 80. And it doesn't have to be that wide of a range. We can be more specific and maybe do 55 to 65 or something like that, or even people aged 65 or 70 plus. There's a lot of different ways that you can play around with the numbers. But the point is that in this video, I'm going to go through what are the best ways to target people that are within that specific age range. Now, the first thing you need to know when targeting people between the ages of 50 and 80 is that the messaging is probably one of the most important things that you need to get right in order to make these people actually be interested in what it is that you can do and how you can help them. So think about it. If your messaging isn't very good or very appealing to the people that you're targeting, they're just not going to be interested in what you do or how you can help them. So you really need to get the messaging right if you want to have the most success when targeting pre-retirees or retirees. Now, how can you actually do this? Well, in order to get it right, you need to do three things. Number one, you need to talk about the big painful problem that your potential clients have. Number two, you need to then explain what are some alternative solutions to this problem. And then finally, you need to explain why is your solution better than those alternative solutions. If you can do that in your messaging, there's going to be a very high likelihood that your marketing campaign will convert very well. Because if you don't solve a big painful problem that people have, it doesn't matter what you say. People are just not going to be that motivated or interested to learn more. So what kind of messaging works really well? So after working with hundreds of different financial advisors and insurance agents and other clients that are looking to target pre-retirees and retirees, or even a combination of both of those, what we found is that messaging to do with not running out of money in retirement, messaging to do with potentially growing your wealth in retirement, and also messaging to do with saving money in retirement taxes are problems that people have that they seem to be very interested in having a solution for. Now, depending on what it is that you do and how you help people, you might have to describe how your solution is better than other alternative solutions to this problem in different ways. So for example, let's just say you sell annuities. If you sell annuities, what you could say in your messaging is maybe something along the lines of, are you worried about potentially running out of money in retirement? Are you worried of a potential stock market crash devastating your retirement savings? And then you could say, what are some solutions to solve this? Well, if you don't invest any money in the market, then chances are you're not going to grow your wealth very much. On the other hand, if you keep all of your money in banks or bonds or CDs or something else that is more relatively safer, the problem with those types of solutions is that they don't really grow your wealth a lot. And the problem is that you could end up losing money to inflation or things like that. And then that's when you can then explain, okay, now you've gone through the alternative solutions, you could then explain how annuities could potentially help you solve those problems. So that's just one example where you can talk about the problem, you can talk about alternative solutions, and then you can talk about why your solution is potentially better than other alternative solutions. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail as to how we actually do that. This is something that we do for the clients that we actually work with. We actually create the messaging, the scripts, the ads, and everything they need in order to make it successful. But if you'd like to learn more about how that works, or if you want us to help you do this, you can just click the link in the description of this video to watch my free masterclass training, because that goes through how our strategy works in more detail. And then at the end of that video, if you like what you hear, you can also schedule a call with us to learn more about potentially working together. But either way, whether you work with us or not, you need to make sure that your messaging talks about those things. It needs to talk about the problem that you solve. You need to talk about alternative solutions to that problem. And then you need to explain to people why your solution is better than those alternative solutions. So what are some of the ways that you can do that? Well, one of the best ways that you can do that is not just in an ad, because really anyone can run ads these days, but the best way that you can do that is in what's called a video sales letter. So a video sales letter is kind of like having a salesperson that works for you 24/7. So instead of having to generate leads and then chase them to get an appointment, if someone watches a short, maybe 5-minute video that explains, those things that I just gone through, what is the problem that you solve? What are those alternative solutions to that problem? And why is your solution better? If they can watch that in a short video and then they schedule a call to work with you, they're going to be much more motivated to want to work with you and to want to speak with you, because that video has built up trust and it's helped position yourself as an expert or authority in solving the problem that your prospect has. So that's the next thing that I recommend that you do in order to target pre-retirees or retirees. I recommend that you have a video sales letter to build trust with your leads. Now, once you've got the video sales letter up and running, now is when you can start promoting it and targeting pre-retirees and retirees to get them to go to the video sales letter in the first place, so that you can start generating leads and appointments. Because at the end of the day, you could have the best video sales letter in the world, right? But if no one actually sees it, then it's pointless. So you need to drive traffic, or you need to get people to see the video sales letter. And then it becomes a bit of a numbers game. The more people that see the video sales letter, the more leads, appointments, and clients that you get off the back of it. So the next logical question is, how do you promote the video sales letter? How do you target these pre-retirees and retirees to get them to see the video sales letter in the first place? Well, now is the perfect time to start using paid advertising. Now, I'm going to go through some free ways to target pre-retirees and retirees, and I'm going to go through some paid ways to do that. But I'm going to start with the paid ways, which would be through paid advertising, like I just mentioned. So with paid advertising, there's lots of different ways you could potentially run ads, but the two channels we've found work best specifically for targeting pre-retirees and retirees when it comes to paid ads is Facebook ads and TikTok ads. Now, when I say Facebook ads, that also includes Instagram ads, because it's part of Meta, so it's all part of the same ecosystem. So when you run ads on Facebook, you can very easily run ads on Instagram at the same time at the click of a button. And TikTok ads is one that might surprise you, but on TikTok, you can actually target people over the age of 55. So you can literally select the age group 55 or more on TikTok to make sure people only above that demographic see your ads. So it's not going to go to anyone young that's on TikTok. You can actually specify that in the age, which is a bit of a unique solution, because Facebook ads, if you don't already know, they've removed the age targeting if you're in financial services or insurance. So you can't actually target, well, officially, technically, you can't target by age. Now, even though you can't officially target by age, there are other workarounds and ways you can get around that by leveraging the Facebook or the Meta algorithm to show your ads to the right people. So quite frankly, even though you're not targeting people by age, it doesn't really matter because you can still target people using the algorithm. You can still target exactly the right kind of people that you want to get in front of. And how do you do that? Well, the answer is in the first point that I mentioned in this video, which is your messaging. So again, your messaging is what's going to indicate how well your ads perform. So in your messaging, if you want the Facebook algorithm or even the TikTok algorithm to show your ads in front of the right people, you need to be very clear with your messaging in terms of who it's for and how you can help them. So I've already touched on how you can help them early on in this video by talking about the problem, alternative solutions to that problem, and why your solution is better than those alternative solutions. But the next thing you need to do, especially inside of your ads and your sales funnel landing pages, which are the pages that people go to after clicking on an ad, you need to be very specific with who it is for. So inside of your ads, you can actually say, this is for people aged between, let's say, 55 to 60 or, 55 to 65 or whatever age range you want to use. You can say that this is who it's for. And by doing this, people that are within that age range will see the ad, they'll click on it and they'll convert, which sends positive signals back to Meta or TikTok saying that this is a good lead. And then those that don't meet that criteria, they can then skip the ad and ignore it, and then they won't convert, which again sends data back to Meta or TikTok telling them this person is not a good fit. So over time, the algorithm gets better and better at showing your ad to the right people, but you have to train it properly. So many people just, create some ads, but then they haven't really got clear about who it's for, and then the ad just goes to anyone. And then that's why a lot of advisors, since Facebook released the new change where you can't officially target by age, a lot of advisors and other marketers have said that they've seen all of their leads just suddenly disappear. They're no longer getting the results like they used to. And that's because inside the ad, it's not very clear in terms of the messaging as to who this is for. So you need to be very clear with who this is for inside of the ad. So there's all kinds of ways that you can do this. Again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail in this video as to how you specifically do that. This is something we help clients do. But just to let you know, the main point is that it's all to do do with the messaging and calling out exactly who it is that you want to get in front of. And by the way, this works not just for age, this also works for targeting people if you want to target people that have a certain amount of investable assets. So again, if you put that in the messaging, you're going to attract those people. And if you're very specific with who this is a good fit for and not a good fit for, again, it's going to help you get better results when you're running ads. So that's probably one of the best ways that you can generate leads, appointments, and clients by targeting pre-retirees and retirees. And that's by running ads. So running Facebook ads and running TikTok ads. Now, you might be wondering which one works better, Facebook or TikTok. It really depends. We have some clients that they get better results on Facebook and Instagram, and other clients they get better results on TikTok. So what we typically recommend for most clients is to just test both for 30 days and see which one gets better results for you. And then based on that, once you know which channel is getting better results for you, then you can spend the rest of your budget on that specific channel. But running ads isn't the only channel that you can use if you want to target pre-retirees and retirees. And you might be surprised to learn that YouTube is actually another really powerful channel to target pre-retirees, retirees, and seniors. So with YouTube, what a lot of people don't realize is that it's kind of like running ads. The only difference is that with ads, you're paying to get in front of people. But with YouTube, you're actually being rewarded to get in front of people. So let me explain. With ads, what I mean is that it doesn't matter if your ad is good or bad. You're paying to get in front of people. So if your ad is bad, Facebook and TikTok are still going to take your money and they're going to show that ad to different people, and you're probably just not going to get a lot of conversions. And even if it does work, because you're paying the money, you always have to pay money to Facebook, to TikTok in order to generate leads and appointments, because if you stop paying the money, they stop showing your ads to people. So it can work. It's very scalable. It's a way to grow your business and generate appointments and leads on demand. But the only downside is that it's not free. Whereas on YouTube, you can actually do the same kind of thing. You can create videos. And if your videos are good, if they're helpful, if people actually enjoy watching your videos, then YouTube sees that. They can actually track who's watching your videos and how much of the video they watch, and if they share it, if they like it, and all that kind of stuff. And if they see that people like your YouTube videos, YouTube will automatically promote it for you, similar to how you're running ads, but they do that for free, which is really cool. It's amazing, really. I mean, you're kind of running ads for free. But the only caveat to that is that you need to create a good video. If the video is not very good, YouTube is just not going to push it in front of people. But if you can create good YouTube videos, and by good, it doesn't have to be anything like super fancy or super polished. I mean, it could be simple videos like the one I'm recording here, where I'm just literally, I have a presentation or something on my screen, on my laptop, and then I'm looking at the camera and I'm talking in front of the camera. And then I have some notes again on the presentation about what I'm going to say. And then I look at the camera. So you could record videos, simple videos like that. The most important thing isn't so much about the production quality of the videos. The most important thing is what you say in the videos, the messaging in the videos. And I've seen some really bad videos in terms of production quality, but actually the video content is really good and helpful, and those videos still perform really well. So with YouTube, if you create videos or content that is very specific to problems that your potential clients have, and you solve those problems inside of the video, then that video is going to be automatically pushed in front of the right people through YouTube for free without you even having to lift a finger. You just got to create that content in the first place. So in terms of your investment, it's not so much of a monetary investment with YouTube. It's more of a time investment, because it does take time to create those videos. But at the same time, it doesn't take a huge amount of time. So you're probably looking at spending maybe 1 to 2 hours maximum for one video. So if you did one YouTube video a week, which is very reasonable, which is just 1 to 2 hours a week, that's all you really need to dedicate to YouTube in order to start getting and seeing some results from that. So that's another really powerful way to start targeting pre-retirees and retirees. And that's just by creating simple YouTube videos that answer questions that your potential clients are looking for. Now, if you're one of our clients, this is, again, something we help our clients with. So if you look at our Done For You services page and scroll down to the step about generating leads, you'll see one of those things that we do is actually research what content or what topics would be good for you to create content on that would likely indicate that someone is going to be searching for it, and then that they will end up being one of your clients. And we've even had some clients that they've only recorded a handful of videos, and because those videos are so specific and so helpful to a very specific demographic, which again, in most cases is pre-retirees and retirees, that video on its own, even though they've only created a handful of them, just 1 or 2 videos on their own, they can generate leads and appointments. And they have generated leads and appointments for clients that haven't even spent a lot of time on creating lots of YouTube videos. So with YouTube, it really is a potential goldmine if you're willing to put in the work and actually take the time to record those videos in the first place. Now, as a bonus, one really cool thing about YouTube videos that I will say is that The clients that we've seen that are recording YouTube videos, they also tend to get better results with paid advertising as well. So what we've seen happen is that when someone maybe sees your YouTube videos, if they then see one of your ads on Facebook or TikTok or something like that, because those YouTube videos have already done a really good job of building up trust, there's a much higher chance that when they see the ad, they'll recognize you and then they will actually convert into a lead and then into an appointment and then obviously into a client. So if you want to get better results with your ads, it can be very helpful to also record YouTube videos just as a bonus. So if you want help targeting retirees or pre-retirees, or if you're a financial advisor looking to generate more leads and appointments for your own business, and you're looking to target people that have maybe 250K, 500K, a million or more in investable assets, and you'd like to learn a little bit more about how the strategy we use works, then just click the link in the description of this video to watch my free masterclass training, because that goes through how it all works step by step. And then at the end of that video, if you like what you hear, we'll go through how it works if you want us to do all of the work for you, or at least help you do the work. And then you can schedule a call to learn more about working together.